Hello, Brittany Miller here, Ultimate Life Coach of Rise, Come Unto the Light, and it is day 4, and I am so excited to share with you our tool for today. Our number 4 step is accountability. Accountability is so vital to our existence. In our lives, we must be accountable for our actions. Now, each step that I have given you builds on each other. We have to be honest. We have to decide. We have to act on what we decide. And we have to be accountable for those actions. So each tool that I am giving you interacts one with another. And as you continue to use these tools and build upon them, you will see change in your life. You will be able to break the cycles of darkness that you find yourself in, and you will be able to overcome the obstacles that you face, and you will be able to find light. I have done it in my life in many different circumstances, in many different experiences, and with different situations. And so I am sharing this knowledge with you because it has been my own personal experience. And I know that it is vital knowledge and very informative for us to know. So, accountability. I want you to think for a second what that means for you. What does that honestly mean to be accountable for our actions? What does that mean, and what does it look like when we take full responsibility of the choices that we make and the consequences that follow, whether they're good or whether they're negative? What does that look like? And as you ponder these questions, I want you to think about something. Pride and honesty do not coexist one with another. So when you are acting in honesty, you are not acting in pride. And so that is so important, because since honesty is our number 1 tool, when you are being honest in every step of your life, you will continue to use honesty in all of these tools that I am sharing with you. And that honesty is really what's going to make all of this make sense. So when something happens, or there's a consequence to an action that you have made, honestly, you will be able to be in a humbling situation and act in humility, not in pride. And you will realize either what you have done is in a negative way, or what you have done is in a positive way, and you will be able to see the repercussions from it. So it's kind of like the ripple effect in the pond, and how those ripples grow once you have touched the water, and they start to grow and evolve and get bigger and bigger. And so that is how all of these tools interact one with another, and they start to grow, and each one builds on the other. And accountability is really when we face our consequences, whether they are good or bad. That is honestly what it comes down to. You're accountable for the choices that you make. So if I choose to jump into a freezing cold pool, for example, a consequence that I'm going to have is that I'm going to be cold, and that I'm going to be wet, and I'm going to have to live with those decisions, or with those choices that I have made, and with the actions that I took, and now be accountable for those actions. So I'm going to have to clean up my mess. And so in our lives, sometimes that gets hard and it gets rough, because that means that we have to clean up our mess with our relationships with each other, with our relationships with those who we love and who we call family, with our relationships with ourselves. And sometimes we haven't been acting in truth, and sometimes we haven't been acting in positive light. And so we get to experience heartache and hardship, and we get to experience being sorrowful and expressing our sorry, and how we can overcome that, and how we can act in apologies when it is the appropriate time to be apologetic. And when we are acting in truth and light for ourselves and for those around us, then we also know that we don't have to act in a certain way that would create us to apologize for things that are out of our control, or to be accountable for choices of other people, because sometimes the choices of other people affect us a lot more than we realize. And so we are able to be in an honest, truthful state of where we are in each situation. And so it is easier for us to be accountable and to say, hey, look, yeah, I messed up, or I failed big time. And, celebrate those failures, because you will learn. If you are acting in accountability, if you are practicing that and trying it on and putting it into your life, you will be strengthened, because you will be able to have hard conversations. You will be able to be aware of other people and aware of yourself and where you stand and the future that you are trying to create and the things that you are trying to overcome. And you will have that knowledge and you will be able to do it. It is amazing how these tools work hand in hand and how it can really change your life. So let me share with you what accountability means. Accountability means that you are self-reliant. It means that you don't have to rely on anyone else to create the life and the world that you want to exist in. It means that when you mess up and you fail big time, you are able to stand in control and fix the mistakes that you make. It means that you are able to realize when others need your support and need your help, and you can act accordingly. What it means for you is that you get to stand tall. What it means for you is that you will teach others who are in your life, who you love, who you care for, that there is another way. And that no matter what we choose, there are consequences. And you get to celebrate and we get to rejoice in our happy consequence moments. And we get to learn from the others. And honestly, I celebrate my failures too, because I know that they do bring me up higher, and I know that they do strengthen me. So for today, day 4, for your step accountability, I want you to practice this little exercise. At the end of your day, every night, I want you to examine your day and think about the choices that you've made and the actions that you've taken, and be accountable for those. Realize when you might not have been completely in light or acting in truth. Realize when there might be times where you can say you're sorry. Realize when there might be times when we can rejoice in our successes. Examine your day and be accountable for it. And you can honestly have a little journal, if you'd like, where you can write down the things that you have done that day and the things that you have examined and looked over, and where you have been accountable for your actions and you have followed through, and where you need to work on it. And then that way, if there is ever a time where things need to be amended, you can go back and do so. It is a small practice, but it is a part of daily accountability, and it is important that we examine our days and that we are quick to say sorry when we need to, and that we don't live our life as a victim, because that is not who we were intended to be. We are intended to have great potential and to be able to achieve our dreams and our greatest desires. And these tools help make it possible for us to do so. So I hope that if you have any questions, that you will please respond to me so that I can answer them. But I hope that you have a wonderful time trying on accountability and practicing that. And tonight when you go to bed, examine your day and see where you have been accountable for the choices that you've made and the actions that you've made. And let's together rise over these challenges and over these obstacles that we face by being honest, by deciding, by acting, and by being accountable. I'm so excited to see you tomorrow for our final step in our 5-day challenge. Have a great day.